this may not go anywhere at all, but we'll see what happens.
Oh, that's all right.
There was another question that guy had asked. I guess it's a guy. There's so few women on this, maybe 2 or 3. Anyway, somebody had asked about why it was that you wouldn't see anybody having any kind of, discussions about hanging out with John Lennon or Paul McCartney. And
I've never laid eyes on Paul McCartney. Much less met him. I always wanted to meet him, but never ever have I ever even seen him.
We'll just mention this real quickly because I thought it was interesting, and you remember this when it happened, when they were looking for the Paul McCartney look-alike.
Yeah, I was in school in Millington.
And you remember that?
I remember that happening.
Can you talk about that at all?
They had some contest on getting a Paul McCartney look-alike. It didn't say anything about him being dead or anything, and I don't know why they were looking for a look-alike. But I remember.
This was a worldwide search or something?
Yeah, it was in one of those teen magazines or something,
Right?
Yeah. I remember that.
Do you remember?
I was still in high school.
You remember that there was a guy who won it, right?
I don't remember any of that.
You don't?
I just remember it going down. I didn't keep up with all that. No, hell no. I wasn't keeping up with the Beatles or the Rolling Stones. No, I was digging Bob Dylan, I was riding on the Mayflower and I thought I'd spy some land. Yelled for Captain Ahab, had to understand. We came running to the deck. Said, boys, forget the whales. We're going over yonder for the engines they have failed. High along the bow line, we sang out melody like all tough sailors do when they're far away at sea.
Yeah.
Yeah, I loved Bob Dylan. Back then, I really dug all his stuff.
Yeah, you were doing some folk stuff when you were just a
Yeah, I did folk music.
Teenager.
Beautiful, Come on. I thought real clear, boys, you missed the train I'm on.
I remember there was
I didn't come at all.
I remember there was a real distinct, lines between the rock and roll people and the folk people.
There was huge blocks in between all the genres of music.
Yes, and I was folk
but
music.
you could actually get on your radio and punch one button and get a country station, punch another one, you get rock, punch another one, and you get, rhythm and blues, another one you get some gospel music, then another one you get some black gospel music, some really serious singing,
Right.
Oh, that was excellent, yeah.
Well, you only got 2 stations here.
Yeah, and out here where we are, the only 2 stations.
There's the Hispanic religious station and some country station.
Yeah, and it's not, country music is bad these days.
Let's not go there because we could offend a lot of people.
Oh, hell, I don't care about all that.
I know you don't.
I'm a rock and roll guy.
I don't even want to even go there.
Except, George Jones did one of my songs.
Different.
Johnny Rodriguez did one of my songs. Tom Jones did one of my songs.
That's a different time.
Brother Ray did one of my songs.
Yeah, well, we're talking a different time and a different, whole different era.
Yeah. They don't know country music these days.
I don't even know what it is.
No. And I've lived long enough to say that,
And not care. And not care,
no. Yeah, when you hit 70, you really don't give a shit, but when you hit 73, forget about it.
That's right.
If I don't have time for it, I ain't bothered, And I'm 73.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't have to put up with nothing. No. All right, now you had asked me something in the beginning, and I think I completely evaded it,
No, because I started out with talking about meeting.
Oh, meeting those guys.
Everybody talking about and hanging out.
John Lennon only showed up at the All Things Must Pass session. Yeah, this somebody's coming out there creating some confusion, mass confusion, in a heartbeat. just because they're saying something about who wasn't at the All Things Must Pass. Believe me, I was at every session. Every time the door was open, I was there. And I was only ever late one time, and that was when I came in. And that was a blessing because I came in on wah-wah and played the upbeat electric piano because that was the only keyboard that was open. And so, I was at every one of them, including the two Pete Drake sessions at the end of the thing. I went there even though I didn't play on those two. He was doing he was doing that part, my part on that. But
well, it's just a case of a couple of people trying to rewrite history again.
yeah, you can't do that. Not as long as my book's out. It's been out a long time, and I'm still around. So, these...
And you talk about the All Things Must Pass sessions in detail, and you go through every single song.
Yeah, when I was writing my autobiography...
Which is called...
Bobby Whitlock, a Rock and Roll Autobiography. Mm-hmm. And the publisher...
And it's on Amazon. Yeah.
Yeah, it's on Amazon. It was like #1 and all kind of stuff, and still is in required reading because the publisher
they do reference books and that kind of things.
Yeah. So it's because I did a song by song for All Things and the Layla album. It's a reference, and so it's required reading in some colleges in Great Britain and Australia. It was actually my book was in Austin Library. I was real surprised. It was let me just see if my book's here. Sure enough, there it was.
Yeah.
But no, it's pretty amazing.
It's of historical.
And what I did was I had this idea because I had listened to everything that I could to refresh my memory, and then I went, I'm just going to sit down and put headphones on and write it as I listen to every song as it comes by. Mm. And I'll walk you right in the building with me and put you right beside me at the piano or the organ or wherever I am, and I'm talking about who's playing what. And it creates a visual. And if you're listening to it and reading it at the same time, it really puts you, at EMI Studios. It really puts you right there in the middle of the recording of the album. It really is. Well, just like everything else, it's the creative principle of doing that thing. I mean, I can't write a grocery list, but I was able to spill out my guts to piece together my autobiography. I didn't plan on writing it; it just happened. It's one of those things. And Coco knows 17 months or something like that, wasn't it? A long time. Mm-hmm. Yeah, every day, 8 hours, 9 hours. We had to just quit playing. It got so consuming, all consuming. It's not anymore.
Well, you were into it.
Yeah,
you were totally into it, as you are when you get into something. You're totally into it. So.
Yeah. That's why I have so many paintings.
And you and Mark there was a lot of work. And you're here, he's in England, and that's, there was
there was a lot of back and forth with Mark Roberti, and he dotted all the T's and crossed the T's and dotted the I's, and
it was so much.
Got all the logistics and everything correct. Like I could say the Black Prince, in Nottingham. Because thank you, Mark. I remember the gig, but I didn't remember all the names of the places that we played.
Well, and the exact dates were, he had.
Yeah, exact dates and all that. No, I've got a good memory, but not that good.
Well, who in the world would sit and remember every single date of something?
Yeah, who would care?
Somewhere where they played, and it's impossible. Well, anyway. Paul McCartney.
Never met him. No.
John
Lennon showed up at the All Things Must Pass session with his girlfriend or his wife then, Yoko, and had their brown sack with the pictures of their naked
Right.
selves on the front and the back. I mean, is that really worth stopping a session for to see that? You know, but anyway.
And the record, well, that record had already been out for some time.
Yeah, it had been out. I don't know why they brought that to show us. I guess that's because the only thing
Because
they had
John
going,
he had the thing about it, and it went on for a very long time, apparently.
Yeah, it seemed like
He was
everything
upset
he
about
did, he went on about it. But, you know, that's so it would seem. I love his records and everything, and you know, the band and all
I'm
the
a
people.
big John
that
fan.
and,
I love John Lennon's.
you know, I met him another time. I didn't even talk to him when he came to the session because it was all about him when he showed up. You see.
Sure.
But I met him one time in a session that he was doing with Harry Nilsson.
Yes.
It was bad.
What happened?
Oh hell, I can't tell.
Come on now, you go. Come on now.
Oh, okay.
Come on.
Oh, okay.
You're turning red.
God damn, how did I get into this? All right. I decided I was getting bored. All I used to do was fly back and forth. I was waiting on Eric Clapton to stop doing the heroin and come out and play, you know. And he wasn't going to do it. And I was living at Sunny Heights, you know, Ringo's old house. And I was bouncing around that, like, BB and number 2 watch stuff. I was just like, I got to get out of here, you know. So I would fly to LA, you know. And just go visiting people and stuff, you know. I got tired of waiting on Eric Clapton. I couldn't get a gig, you know. And I was just waiting and waiting and waiting, and he was getting deeper and deeper and deeper involved and was staying at home and never ever coming out the door. It got dark and very macabre around Hurtwood then. And like cobwebs. Bad. So nothing I could. Well, I went to LA, and it was always like a limo, you know, to take me around and everything. And I got fed up with riding in the back of the limos, and I had a limo that was picking me up at the thing, and I had a bunch of money in my pocket, and I told him I saw the car lot right there, and I saw a little Volkswagen, 67, blue 67 with chrome reverse wheels and baby moons on it. I saw him and said, pull over there. And I bought that. And I sent him on his way. And so I'm tooling around Hollywood in a little Volkswagen, having a big time. It had a loud muffler on it. All my cars have loud mufflers. But this one was, he turned out to be a nephew, but he still owns the car, my old Volkswagen. Corey Naughton's his name. He's a sound guy. But no, I was driving this little VW and went to dinner with Donovan, Linda, and whatever was that guy's name, Alan Klein, and some people at one of these real fancy restaurants down in, you know, and there was a Sunset Recorders or something across from there, and Harry Nilsson and John Lennon were in there. Well, I remember having dinner with Donovan and Alan Klein and his wife Betty, and drinking fine stuff. And the guy just got drunk as a dog, you know. And so Bobby Keys was with us as well. And so he and I, we were always a terror when we got together. And so I'm with him. I said, he went up, and Bobby left and went on across the street to the
Harry Nilsson.
Sunset Recorders, you know, that was it. Sunset Sound Recorders across the street from this fancy restaurant, fancy Italian restaurant. And Bobby said, come on over, Bobby, I want you to meet Harry and John. I said, all right, I'll be there in a little bit, you know. And so I had the little Volkswagen parked right outside the door of this real fancy restaurant in Hollywood, right outside the door. And so I decided, oh, hell, when I got finished my thing with them, I said, I'm going to go over there to the session. And so I said, I'm not. I'm just gonna drive in. You know. Got in my car. Of course, I've been drinking. You know. Got in the car, and I hadn't even cranked it up, and there was because I got in the car, I stumbled out of the front door, right, and the cops were sitting there, and I got in my car, and I didn't even have to go anywhere, and they hit me with the lights, and so they opened the doors and they said, "Would you mind stepping out?" I said, "No problem," and then my foot got caught in I dove out. And they just went ahead and put handcuffs on me and took me down to the jailhouse at Hollywood and Vine. Oh, it was terrible. I had to call Donovan to get me out of jail. Oh my God. I don't know what happened to the thing. I don't recall that. Somebody must have paid the fine or something, you know, but nobody took my license or anything.
So you never got to see John Lennon and Harry Nilsson after all?
No, I didn't get to see him.
Of course not.
No.
That was that, huh?
It was that bad, yeah. That's what I got for drinking, carrying on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Hanging out with a hurdy-gurdy man.